owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And good morning to all our South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined live and in studio with the one and only Kristen Howlett.
Good morning, South Shore.
Good
neighbors.
morning. And beyond. Because
South Shore and beyond.
South Shore and beyond. And hello, Tim. Tim, are you there?
Yes, hello. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tim.
I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long because I haven't been on the show for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I know. and last time we had a little fun with some game show stuff.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was fun. We should have just done the whole show on a game show. But
I can name that song in 3 notes.
Yes. No. Oh, isn't that a show too? I can name that.
Yes, it is called Name That Tune, and they brought it back. That was a show at least from the 70s into the 80s.
Oh, wow.
And they brought it back, and I think Kristen Chenoweth is hosting it on Fox. And
okay,
it's fun, and they've got the Randy.
Oh, Randy Jackson.
Yes, he's on the piano with the band.
Yeah, I would do really good on that show.
He was the one. Yeah? He was on American Idol. That was like, it's a no from me, dog.
Yeah.
I keep seeing these clips of a show. I don't know what it is, but it's like 2 people. They go against each other, and like there's a screen in between them, and there's like a image that shows up, and you have to like say what that image is. Like,
does Rob Lowe host? Is it
yes,
on Fox?
Yes.
That's called.
I just had a deja vu.
What the heck is it called? I've seen it.
I don't know what it is.
It's,
it gives me anxiety.
Is it the wall, the grid? Hold on.
I don't know. It was I just keep seeing all these clips like on TikTok and stuff like that of this show, and I'll watch the whole clip and I'll be like, oh yeah,
the floor.
The floor.
It's called The Floor.
Why?
Well, because what happens is it's a grid. It's a bunch of people on a floor, and they all are like experts in a certain category.
Oh,
and so the way they start out the show in the beginning is they just pick someone at random, send them up, and then it's like, all right, these are the people around you with their other categories.
Okay.
And so if there's one that you think you can do better and you pick them, they come up and face off with you.
Okay. I got to watch the show.
And whoever wins, they get the other person's property on the floor, if you will.
Oh,
and so you win by getting as much of the floor as you can.
Yeah.
And
do you remember there used to be a show? I don't know if it's still on. I don't think so, but it was like a half circle of people, and there was a host, and the host would ask questions, and you'd go down the half circle, and if you got the question wrong, I forget what happens if you get the question wrong, but like at the end of the round they could like vote somebody off.
The weakest link.
The weakest link.
Yes.
You are the weakest link.
Yes.
Goodbye.
And fun fact, well, the most recent rendition Jane Lynch hosted.
Yeah.
But for a little bit, the announcer for The Price is Right, George Gray, hosted The Weakest Link.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like 20-something years ago.
Oh, gosh. I wish I could just watch some game shows all day.
Me too.
Although today's shaping up to be a little bit of a gloomy day, so maybe that's a good thing for some people.
The little peaks of sunshine this afternoon.
Oh,
they said it's going to clear up. Yeah,
good.
Clear up later.
Good. And then what about tomorrow? Is it going to be nice?
Kind of the same as today. A little bit cooler. It's not no washouts.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a spot afternoon shower, thunder shower today, tomorrow. None of that stuff is mentioned. So it's
how was your 4th? I didn't do the show. Well, we did a repeat last week because for the holiday, and then the week before, I know Sharon hosted the show with a guest and talked all about the 4th of July and stuff. Yes. But how was your 4th?
My 4th was really nice, thanks. We didn't even crazy, and I know a lot of people try and find fireworks on TV and stuff that they're not around them.
Yeah,
or you're not in Plymouth, of course, because they got some pretty good fireworks down there every year. No, we just sat on our back deck. We had a little cookout, but our Stoughton is crazy.
Oh, really?
We didn't even have to leave our deck for fireworks. We could just look through the trees and
wow,
it was nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
In the comfort of your own.
How was your 4th?
It was good. Yeah, we went to Ethan, my fiance's parents' house, and had a cookout, and it was really good. We did some stuff around the house, so that was good and good. Just I don't know, I just felt accomplished and like sort of relaxed. Even though I worked Saturday, just like I don't know, it was a good weekend. And you were away.
Yeah, we were in Nantucket for the week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
nice.
They go away. You guys go away for a week for 4th of July, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Or try to.
Yeah.
Lucky ducks.
Yep, it was nice. We had great weather.
All right. Well, Kristen, you join me a lot. More so when we had the Tuesday show, you would join me a lot. So, and we started our segment of, highlighting communities on the South Shore and everything. And we were going to do that today. But I said to you, I was like, why don't we do something a little bit different just because I don't want your Saturday segments to only be about that. I want you to highlight what you're doing, which is selling real estate.
I have to say, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. I'm going to digress again for a moment, but I was so proud and happy yesterday. So we went to an open house. And the first 5 people that I saw at that open house were Boston Connect agents. Mm-hmm. And it was a Boston Connect listing. So the Flynns have a new listing in Hanson. It's 199 Brook Bend Road in Hanson. And they hosted an open house during the day yesterday. So Kristen and I met there about halfway through. And I got there a little bit earlier. And Matt Mahoney's on the front lawn on the phone talking about a client. I walk in and Sue Bollinger's there.
On crutches.
Faith Birmingham is there. Of course, the Flynns are there hosting the open house. You walk in. I think Mary went after we left.
Mm-hmm.
Ginny Wandell went. Just it was so. I walked in. I go. I love that. I have seen so many Boston Connect agents supporting each other, and even agents came after we did. So I love that. And of course there were other guests there searching, looking through the home, but I felt like it was our little family.
It's funny that you say that because I am prepping a listing in Dedham, and I reached out to an agent who has a listing currently. And, I just try to kind of like get some information, and she was so nice. And she ended up saying, when the listing ends up going live, we have a great broker open. Here's the website. I'll share everything with you. This one person is the one who organizes everything, but we all support each other. And I said, is this something that you just, I know before COVID, it was popular, and in a different market, it was popular, but I do feel like it's coming back. And I said, is it something that you just recently? And she said, no, we always did it. It's just, I know that Bourne also has one too. It's kind of a like Thursday morning running broker open, and you just add your and you go from one house to the other. And I thought I would love to start that. Yes. It's a great little, and you know what? It's important for us to have the feedback, especially in a market that's changing a little bit, because you get other people's opinion. You can get opinion about the condition of the house, things that you can do different before you have that actual open house. It's like a nice little.
I think it fits in the category of going back to basics.
Yeah.
Like just whatever was happening, even during COVID or a little bit after, I don't think those practices really work anymore. we have to get back to, we're hosting the open houses, we're allowing showings, we're, having this
No more
community.
Saturday, so only one open house from 12 to 1.
Yeah. No more of that.
Yeah. But this goes back to the practice of, it would be good for us to be able to preview at that broker open to see if it might be a good fit for our client. Because let's face it, everybody's busy. So if somebody's looking for a house, I have a buyer right now. We've looked, this entire week, we've looked at like 4 different houses.
Yeah.
And she's busy. She works all day. So for me to be able to preview it at a broker open and see, and then go back to her, I just did this with my closing that closed in Bowsprit in Plymouth. Yeah. I was able to go to the broker open or the open that was on like a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
I was able to get in touch with my client who was at work and say, you know what, this is perfect for you. He went on the weekend. It was perfect.
Yeah.
We put in the offer, and you know what? It was great.
Well, I was in the kitchen when you walked in yesterday, and the first thing you said was, "Oh my gosh, I wish I had a buyer for this house. It's so cute."
Yeah.
And
that backyard was amazing.
It was. It truly was. I was we were hanging out back there for a little bit, but yeah, what a great opportunity that house is. And we'll get into open houses later on, but I just wanted to give a shout out that I'm proud of you guys, and you guys are working so hard. And summer can slow down, but you guys are not slowing down. I mean, we had a slow start to the year, which is sort of typical, in the dead of winter, but everybody is certainly making up for that. Everyone is really busy, and I'm just proud of you guys. So,
oh, thanks.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
So I thought that, with you coming on the show with me today, that we would sort of give you an opportunity to highlight what's going on in your real estate business right now. And you said, this is sort of my demographic, the right sizers. And I want to sort of give an explanation to everybody listening is what is right sizing. But before I do that, in case somebody hasn't caught you on our show, why don't you reintroduce yourselves to everybody?
My name is Kristen Howlett. I'm a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. I live in Bridgewater with my husband, my 3 children, and my 3 adult children, and my golden doodle. I'm here at Boston Connect Real Estate, again, full-time. I service anywhere, really anywhere. And this really is I feel like we talk a lot when we do our real estate, what's a good way to call them, like the Tom Ferry events, the events that we do to kind of fill up our cup and get us motivated and get some new ideas. There's always a talk of like, who's your ideal client?
Yeah.
Who you resonate with?
Yeah,
and
that
who
is
do you
a question
relate
that comes
to?
up a lot.
And I do feel like I have 2 ends of the spectrum because I love, love, love my first time home buyers. But I also feel like I relate more to this demographic because we're doing the same thing. We're planning. We're not going to.
You personally in your life, you're planning for
my husband and I personally do not have plans. Although last night at dinner, we had our 27th anniversary yesterday.
Happy anniversary.
And last night at dinner, I said, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're starting to do some projects and do some improvements and handle some things that, we have kids and have kind of gone by the wayside. So I did say to him last night, like, it wouldn't be terrible if we stayed in Bridgewater. He was like, what? This is not your plan. You've been talking about this for 2 years.
Go to the water?
I do. I want to be near the beach. I want to ride my bike to the beach.
Yeah.
I want to be like the 70-year-old old lady. Well, no, not the 70s old because it's not young, but I want to be the old lady that rides her bike to the beach.
I love that. It's the simple things in life.
Yeah. But it's true. This whole idea of right sizing, like what's right for you. And, on the weekends, I do the open houses for the McNamara Horton team at Cochesset Estates in West Bridgewater. And we get a lot of these people that come in and are kind of like, this is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
We'd love that first floor primary. We're in our big 4-bedroom colonial. Our kids are gone. And we're thinking about this next step, but we're not quite sure what that means for us.
Yeah. It's interesting that you brought up first-time home buyers, that you love them so much because that was your first idea for the show. And we were like, oh, yeah, sure, okay. And, we started an agenda and you're like, wait, I want to attract what my demographic is right now and nurture what
and be able to help them because again, I'm going through the same thing. We just found out that we're going to have to replace our AC. Now, could I cry about it? Yes. But you know what? We're going to replace the AC. We're going to enjoy it for a year or two, maybe. And then we'll be able to confidently sell our house and say, we just replaced the AC system.
Yeah. And that's a repair, and we do a show on, should we do this or not? And I think that that's a repair that you do sort of see your return on investment because if you're buying a 4-bedroom colonial for a certain price point, you sort of expect that there would be AC.
Yeah.
And not everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
that.
It's interesting. I think we could easily stay. So my oldest will be moving out in September. My middle is in Connecticut for the next 2 years. And then my youngest is going into his sophomore year in college. So in September, it will really only be my husband, myself, and our dog. And our house is pretty big.
Yeah.
So it should be spotless. We should I just said this, we sat on the deck last night and I said, in September, we should go through room by room and just kind of zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
Do a nice fresh paint, do it, decorate it, and move on. Because I'm the queen of starting and not finishing.
What about Brian? Does he start a project and not finish it?
He's just as bad as I am. Yeah, he's just as bad.
But well, if you need a little help, Ethan and I will come over and help you. We'll do a little paint tonight.
It's just things like that, like being on this is I will say sometimes we can be very impulsive. So this is something we're thinking and planning. And September we're going to get a dumpster. I'm going to clean out my attic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in the attic and you know what? Even if we're still there for 2 years, in my mind I can think my attic is clean.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about it.
It'll give you peace of mind, and you're already preparing. And we say this, on the show and to our clients, like as soon as you have that thought in your head, start sort of generating the things that you would need to do in order to sell your home tomorrow. So it's getting the dumpster, cleaning up, because you don't want to wait until the 11th hour where you're, having a final walkthrough and half your house is still full.
Or honestly, for me, where we want to be, we know that it's going to be competitive. So if something comes up, I want to be ready. Once I'm ready, I'm, we talk about that. If you give a mouse a cookie, the book, the children's book, that's kind of me. I need to have A, B, and C done before I can get to D. I'm not good with like that. Like I can't, my brain doesn't work that way. I get overwhelmed. So for me, it's like, okay, if I can get A, B, and C done, then I can move on. Then I can open up the door, which I do tell my clients all the time. When you're ready, you have to open the door. You've got to be ready to, let it flow through because the right house will come.
It will. So right sizing, when we say that, it's essentially just the right size home for you right now. So that 4-bedroom colonial was the right size for you, starting your family, raising your family in the same home, having 3 kids. It worked for you until now where you're realizing, okay, we're going to be empty nesters. What do we want to live in moving forward in 2-3 years, whichever you choose? But you want to ride your bike to the beach, so that's sort of an area that you have to explore somewhere near the beach.
And we might want a house with 2 stories, but with the potential to have a bedroom on the first floor, because I'm not going to age in place in this house where I currently am at, but my next one, I hope that this will be it.
Yeah.
So maybe something with that potential. Right now, every weekend when we have people come in, I joke at Coachessa because I go up the stairs and I say, right now I can run up and down the stairs, but there might be a time that I don't want to.
Yeah. Think about being on crutches right now, not being able to go on.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
So you have to have that potential. It's the realization that, okay, one day you might not be able to do something. So we do talk about modifying your home on the show. And, some people choose to age in place and they have an opportunity to modify their home that they're already in, but some don't. And that's when they start their journey of selling their current home and looking for their forever home.
I recently had a buyer who just closed on the one in Plymouth.
Yeah.
And that was a big, we talked about that Cape style layout.
Mm-hmm.
That house is perfect for him and he's upstairs, but he also has that potential
Yeah.
with that other room. And I said, essentially, you could modify this to have a whole primary suite right there. And you still have that upstairs if you have a guest or you want to be able to utilize that space for storage. But like, this is perfect because right now you can be up there, but eventually you can be down here.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I did the final walkthrough for you when you were on vacation, and there is a room downstairs. I think it even had a closet.
Yep, it's a bedroom.
It's a bedroom.
Yep.
So on the first floor, he can age in place if he wanted to.
So I'm manifesting a 3-bedroom. I could do
for
2,
you?
3-bedroom with that first floor potential. Cape. Either walk to the beach, ride my bike to the
Stroll
beach,
to the beach
with a basement, because I also do, if we're going to be near the beach, I want the kids to be able to come and go to the beach. So we need to give them space. I'm not going to go from a 4-bedroom colonial to a 4-bedroom colonial.
Yeah.
But I need enough space so that they can have a place to land if they need it, but not make that decision based on them.
Well, you heard it here first. In about 2 years, there'll be a 4-bedroom colonial coming on the market in Bridgewater.
Yeah.
So if you're looking, okay, let's talk about some reasons why, common life changes that might trigger a move. So, growing families. So, having babies and blended families. Again, so
that's a big one right now.
Yeah,
that is such a big one.
Generational living. So having a parent come and live with you, or a family member come and live with you. So that could potentially, you'd be looking for maybe something with an in-law or an additional bedroom. So that's a reason why a lot of buyers are moving right now. Empty nesters. So that would be you. So kids off to college or moved out. I said multi-generational living, retirement. There's this word that goes around, downsizing, but we don't like to use downsizing because it's not a downer. It's just the right move, right size for you right now. So we call it right sizing. And then, health and mobility changes. Everybody grows old and everybody grows old differently. So some people might have mobility issues or health issues that no longer allow them to go up and down the stairs, no longer allow them maybe to live alone. Or
I have a couple that came through Cochesset, and they part of their reasoning for thinking, same thing, they're about my age and they have a beautiful home that they have perfected and it's perfect. But I think one of them, it was either a mother or a father, is getting older and is in that house. And one of them said, that's what we're looking at. Like, we want to counteract that. We don't want to be worried about having to sleep on the couch because we can't make those stairs up and down. So that's another thought too, is, just being proactive, I guess.
Yeah,
is the right word.
Being proactive. But, there are some times where people are stubborn.
Yeah.
And, family intervention is sort of at that point where it's like, okay, mom, like, okay, dad, like, it might be time to sort of think about one level living. And I think about even my house. So I have a raised ranch, and eventually we're going to get a dog. And I think we've settled on a basset hound. Even had a basset hound growing up, but they have little legs. And I'm like, okay, well, you better be prepared to bring this dog up and down the stairs. Like, once you're upstairs, you gotta stay upstairs, or if you're downstairs, you stay downstairs. I'm like, but to leave the house, you are either going down the back steps or you're going down the steps to the front door.
I know,
So
that's so funny.
with those little legs, you better be prepared.
So cute.
We'll be carrying the dog a lot, probably.
Or has got a little ramp.
But that's a consideration that we have, and we're pretty young, and we're already thinking like, oh gosh, our dog can't go down the stairs. What about us?
Well, that's funny. You didn't think of that when you were looking at your house.
I huff and puff going down the stairs to do the laundry.
What about my little basset hound who can't walk up these stairs?
I know.
You didn't think that.
I know. I didn't. I did think about my cat that has little legs. Zoe has little legs. She's a little dwarf, and she makes it up and down the stairs. But I don't know about a dog with the hanging belly and everything.
So cute.
We'll
see.
So
cute.
We'll see. Also, we did like a little mock agenda, really, and it says more space doesn't necessarily mean better. What do you think that means?
So more space, when more space doesn't necessarily mean better.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you don't really need more space. Mm-hmm. Like right now with us, like, everybody thinks that let's go back to COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody thought, oh, I'm cramped up. I need more space. But now that you have the space, it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better. It's just what's right for you. I mean, it could really be, that we don't have that big family room anymore, but we just have something that's a little bit more cozy.
Yeah. I just think about, so downstairs, I have really 3 rooms, and one room is finished. And then off of that room, is sort of a storage room that is below, an addition that the sellers at my house had done. And then on the other side is like utilities. That's where my laundry is and everything. And sometimes I open that door and I'm like, what is all this stuff? Like, what? I wish I didn't have this room because it's just filled with garbage.
I know.
Well, it's just junk.
Yeah, so that's
like, oh my gosh. So I need to get a dumpster. I want to get a dumpster and just throw all that stuff away. If I haven't touched it in a year and a half, almost 2 years, not touching it.
Get rid of it.
Because now I just open the door and I'm like, oh gosh.
There's nothing better than having a dumpster and just getting rid of everything.
We want to replace the slider, so we'll do them at the same time so we can get rid of the slider.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, too much space.
Yeah.
But then I think, oh gosh, they raised 3 daughters in this house. I'm like, where? How? Where were they?
I know.
I'm like, but
I know it's crazy when you think that. Yeah. I know. So yeah, that's true. More space doesn't necessarily mean better.
Yeah. Let's talk about some signs that you've outgrown your current home. So, obvious one is not enough bedrooms or bathrooms. You never had that issue though, right? Because you bought a 4-bedroom before you had children,
right?
So we had wanted that
one. So Jake came with us. Obviously, he was 6 months old, and then we had an office and a guest room, and then our room, and then Ava moved into her room. So each child has their own bedroom. I keep telling Owen when Jake moves out that he should move into Jake's bigger room.
Oh, really?
Like, no, I like him.
Yeah, I mean, it's been their room their whole lives.
Yeah.
It's like invading space.
Mm-hmm.
Storage and closet space has maxed out. Lack of entertaining or work from home space. That was an issue that we saw during COVID because a lot of people started working from home. And something that we noticed was a trend was before that, everyone wanted an open concept.
Yes.
Everyone wanted an open floor plan. And we sold a lot of those in the new construction developments that Sharon and Mary had over the years. And then everyone started working from home and started that multi-generational living as well. And they needed the walls put back up.
Yeah,
they needed space. They needed privacy. And so I think that the mindset went back to, okay, we're looking at the homes that have the formal dining room area, but we won't use it as that. We'll use it as an office and things like that. Because, there are these big homes where people are like, well, I don't entertain, so I don't really need a dining room and things like that. But just because a room is labeled as a dining room doesn't mean you have to use it as a dining room.
I know. Well, we joke about that all the time. We'd say, it's a room. You could sleep in it. You could cook in it. Yeah. But I do think that especially with the first-time buyers and that demographic, the first thing they're thinking is, how can I work from home? Because I'd say 80% of them work from home.
Yeah.
And they need that space. Like I have the cutest first-time home buyers that just bought in Brockton, and they've been sending me progress, and the first thing that they did was paint his office because he needs a space that he needs to be able to work from home. Yeah.
Yeah, when I bought my house, there's an addition off of the kitchen, and I was like, "Oh, this is my lounge. This will be my record player, and we'll watch TV and just like lounge around in here." It's Ethan's office, because he works from home half the time, but he needs that space.
Yeah.
And I think about, okay, if I worked from home, where would I be? Like, I would really need to consider changing some things around in my house in order for the both of us to work from
and
home.
we talked about it. You could do downstairs too.
Yeah, that's the goal. But right now it's, again, filled with junk. So growing frustrations with layout inefficiencies. So again, trying to find that space for what works for your everyday life. Constant home improvement projects to make it work. And you're starting your home improvement projects, but that's to sell your home in a couple of years. So,
and we noticed. So, again, I hate to keep bringing up that awful time in our lives, but during that time, we realized that we didn't have. When my kids were little, we always went to this little pool club in the summertime, so we had somewhere to go every day, and we don't really have, like, we have a big backyard, but it wasn't functional. So we've just recently, and I think too, that's part of we just did some modifications to our deck. We had a patio poured. Our friend Brian's friend Ernie poured a beautiful stamped concrete patio. So we now have that, and our backyard is like, it looks so good.
Nice.
So we can sit on the deck, we can sit under the deck, we can sit out on the patio. Brian's putting together, hopefully today, he just got like a little shed just to be able to put the mower in, and we're going to clear out the garage. And again, all these little things that eventually, if we can just do that. What is her name? The woman that does less is more.
Oh, I forget her name.
What is it?
I don't remember. Just keep waving your hand. I don't know.
Okinawa method or something. She does like the less is more. Simplify everything and get rid of it. If we're not using it, like you said, if it's not serving a purpose, get rid of it.
Yeah. Other reasons why, people want to right size. There could be some financial benefits as well. So I don't know about the lower mortgage part.
Well, I'm looking forward to a lesser electric bill.
Well, yeah. So utility bills and taxes. So that's dependent on the town that you live in. But utility bills. So if you're going from that 4-bedroom colonial and maybe you go to a condo or you go to, a 2-bedroom ranch or something like that. Yes, the size of the home matters with your utility bills. So I think that's why there's a lot of like 55 plus communities, because a lot of that demographic, that 55 plus demographic, go from those big colonials, they're empty nesters, and they go into 55 plus communities or even condos, because that's the lifestyle that they want to live now. They don't want to be responsible for mowing the lawn. They don't want to go up and down the stairs, things like that. So they look for communities that allow them to live that lifestyle. And you've helped several people do that.
Yeah. Just closed on one a couple of weeks ago.
So yeah, you're looking forward to lower utility bills.
Lower utility bills. The same thing. Less time on maintenance. My house is, I think back when the kids were little, my house was spotless. I used to like wash the floors on my hands and knees. And then I would be like, why am I doing this? The only person that would enjoy this clean house is somebody who broke in the middle of the night. Because as soon as the kids got up, it was like mayhem.
Yeah.
And I do feel like as I get older, my standards are like, if you saw my house right now, it's a disaster. Owen has a friend coming today to stay, and I'm horrified.
Really? Yeah,
it's a mess.
You live in. It's a house that's lived in.
Yeah, it's all good.
Moving closer to amenities or support systems. So family, healthcare is a big issue. Public transportation. So if you, I just recently had this conversation with Ginny Wandell, who's a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She has a new listing. Again, we'll talk about the open houses a little bit later on in the show. She has a new listing in Weymouth, and we were talking about like a commuter open house, and should she do just an open house on the weekend? And I said, well, keep in mind that Weymouth is a commuter town. So there's a lot of traffic going through 18 or getting off the highway or things like that. So just be prepared, because a lot of people use public transportation. They are going in and out of Weymouth, or Weymouth is a mode of like an avenue to get to where they're really going home to. So keep that in mind with your times. And I think with a lot of people maybe in the healthcare system or anything like that, a lot of them use the public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking for commuter towns like Weymouth, like Quincy, Braintree, things like that, where they could just jump on the T and get into
for sure.
get into city. So I that's definitely a factor when people are looking.
Yeah.
Is public transportation. So empty or unused rooms becoming a burden. That's a reason why.
Yeah.
Some people move. Oh gosh. If you want to join in on the discussion, you can call Tim at the studio, 781-837-4900. You can call or text him. He receives text on that number as well. We are live on all of our social media. So hello, we're waving. Hello, wave.
Hi.
We are both waving.
Oh, I don't like that wave look.
Yeah. So be sure to follow us, Boston Connect Real Estate, McNamara Horton Group. Kristen Howlett, I'm sure, has shared it by now. And you can follow her on social media as well. I'll give you an opportunity to give all your contact information at the end, so people can get in touch with you if they're right sizing. Because again, we wanted to do this show so you can sort of attract the demographic that you're currently working with.
And just give them also some pointers. Like it is, I understand that it can be overwhelming to even think of it. It might be something that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I just recently, like in the past 2 years, had the sweetest client who had been living in the same house with her husband. Her husband had passed away, and she just felt like, she couldn't make that move.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up helping her sell her house that was filled with all of her stuff from her children that were now grown, and ended up moving into a 55 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And she is so happy.
Oh, good.
And so, and really her thing is, I wish I had done this before.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I didn't waste so much time worrying about what that meant as much as it, I just took that step to make it happen.
Yeah. Some questions that we want to go over. So how to evaluate what you really need. So questions to ask yourself. How do you use your space now? What do you truly need versus want? And do you want room to grow, or are you seeking simplicity?
Oh, I'm seeking simplicity. I'm gonna put that on that's it. You're seeking simplicity.
I know, highlight that.
Yeah.
You need it. Yeah, I think those are really great questions to ask. If you're thinking about possibly right sizing or moving, just think and evaluate how you use your space now. Is this something that you want or something that you need? Of course, we want to go through life satisfying our wants. But if it's not something that you need currently, it might not be the right financial choice for you.
And like, I'm thinking of yards. There are a lot of, men and women out there that take pride in their yard.
Mm.
Slaving over mowing and weeding. And, right now our yard looked so great. And then we went on vacation and now the weeds are up. I don't want to spend the weekend weeding and doing all those things. So maybe having a little bit more of like a smaller space.
Yeah.
That you could either hire someone to do it, or like you said, it's part of like an HOA fee.
Yeah.
But like spending your time too, like what's important.
Tips for visualizing your ideal home. So create a list of must-haves and nice-to-haves. I think that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have this, but it's not a deal breaker. Think about future plans. So retirement, remote work, kids. It just really depends on what chapter you're on in your life. I don't have any children, but one day we will have children. So we have to consider that. Right now we live in a 2-bedroom raised ranch. I mean, we have a finished basement that, whatever, it has endless possibilities. And they did raise 3 kids in our house, but times have sort of changed.
Yeah.
So not everybody shares a bedroom anymore.
Yeah.
So, eventually one day we will have to sell and maybe buy something else that might fit our needs in that moment. And then touring different size homes to get a feel. I love that idea.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really great thing to do in new construction too, because in new construction, there's a lot of different floor plans. There's a lot of different square footages. There's a lot of different style homes that you have access to during open houses and things like that. So even if you're not looking for something that's brand new, you still have an opportunity to get a feel for those spaces.
And I always say it's important to look at, like, especially in Cochesset, where we have 3 different models that we can show with different square footage. And one of them is the Broadway, and it's 1,600 square feet. But the way they have done it is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Because your bedrooms are a little bit on the smaller size, but your living space, and I always say you could host 20 people for Thanksgiving and no one would be cramped.
Yeah.
And it's 1,600 square feet. It's how it's laid out and how it's, it's a really nice, you have a home office, you have 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
You have an open space, you have a nice open kitchen. It's pretty perfect.
Do you have an opportunity to make that office a 3rd bedroom?
It's a room.
It's
you
a
could
room.
sleep in it.
It's a room. What you do with it is your business.
You could put a bed in it. You could sleep in it.
Okay, so what's the next one? So real estate considerations when upsizing or downsizing. Again, we don't like the word downsizing. So right sizing, understanding affordability and mortgage implications. So having an open discussion with your mortgage lender is really important because they'll be able to say, like, you live a very nice lifestyle with your 3.5%. Right now, that's not where we're at in the market. So this is what it'll more look like, where the interest rates are right now, if you were to move into something now.
Right.
So it is a leap.
Yeah.
It would be a leap for a lot of home sellers out there that are holding on to those low interest rates.
Yeah.
Because they're not low right now.
Yeah. So you're right. That's something to consider.
That is something to consider. Also, if you're looking at something that has a homeowners association or any sort of monthly fee, seeing how that fee factors into your life and into your budget and what it includes as well. So and that's looking at either 55 plus communities, condos, or anything that has an association with it. And having
something
to pay
I
that fee.
always point out too when I have this demographic in front of me, whether they're dabbling, part of I think the positives over at Cochesset and Cushing Trails is they're not age restricted communities. So like someone like me, I couldn't take that leap into 55 plus yet because I still have 3 children who need a place to stay, and somebody may not be able to stay with me if they're not 55.
Yeah.
So I don't, and it's something that when I say it, it's almost like a deer in headlights for some people are like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
They can visit, but they can't live with you. So I have another client right now too, who they're looking to sell the house that they've lived in for like 27 years. And we had this discussion when we first started talking about them moving, which was last year. They said, well, everyone is settled. Our kids are settled. Well, guess what? Their son is not settled.
Yeah.
He's coming back and he's staying. So a lot of the places we're looking at now, they just looked at an open house last week, and an adult person can stay with them if they need to.
Yeah.
So those are things you need to, before you make that decision, you need to figure out, what are some communities?
Yeah.
What are the rules in those communities? And that's where a good agent will be able to lead you and help you and make that good decision.
Well, one of the rules that you should look into also is if there is either an adult child taking care of a parent, or if it's a couple, one of them meets the age restriction, the other one doesn't. What happens when that one who meets the age restriction passes away and the other one is not of the age? Can they still stay?
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can't.
I know. A lot of times they can't.
Yeah. So they would be forced to sell.
I know. So those are all questions. And as great as those communities are, and it's a perfect fit for some people, it's not a one size fits all.
It really isn't. It's like in Cinderella where they're going around, with the shoe trying to get the right size. Like it doesn't fit everybody. So you really have to dive into those documentations, have an attorney look it over if you want, because again, things can be interpreted different ways. And I think it's really important to go through all of that before you make your decision to like pull the trigger and put in an offer or anything like that. You really have to make sure that community is right for you.
Yeah. And like we said, take into consideration everything, like when we talk to somebody that's selling, are there any other decision makers that need to be a part of this process? Are there any other influences in your life that might affect where you end up? Like, do you have children? Like we just said.
Yeah. Or obviously this is a personal question, but you have to ask yourself as the buyer, like, what do I think my life is going to look like in 10 years? Like, could I have children? Do I have a dog and I need a fenced in yard? Things like that.
I don't even want to discriminate against that. Maybe it's a brother or sister that might need some help down the road, or, somebody that, like we said, multi-generational living or just blended family living, that there might be somebody else in your family that you're thinking, oh, down the road. That's another thing we see a lot of right now. Adult children, older siblings that are still living with the parents. So it's like they want to go, but what do we do with him?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The cost of living is very high. Housing is very high. So there are a lot of adult children who still live with their parents.
Of course there are.
Ethan still lived with his parents when we met, because that was the most financial, like it made sense financially. There wasn't really a need to find his own apartment or anything at the time, and spend that money wherein he could.
I'm not sure I would want to leave Wendy either.
I know she's fabulous. I mean, they both are.
I'm sure she was making him lunch. And...
probably.
Right.
And now I'm like, what are you having for dinner?
Jake works from home a couple days a week, and when he's home, he's like, Mom, what's for lunch?
Yeah, I know. Well, we're never really home during the day at the same time, so because he'll work from home and I come in. But on the weekends at night, I'm like, what are you having for dinner? Because I'm not home and working at night. So I'm like, what are you going to have for dinner? And then sometimes I'm like, do you want to come in and have a pizza or something? Because I miss them. But okay, so timing the market, so selling and buying simultaneously. How do you feel about that?
I think that when I sit down with this potential, we talk about 3 different scenarios and what works for you. Of course, the perfect scenario would be you find a buyer. If you have to sell to buy, you find a buyer that's willing to work with your timeline. Yeah, it works perfectly, and you simultaneously sell your house and buy your house in the same day, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
We both know that even though it can happen and it does come off without a hitch, it can be stressful. So
other things to consider, just because we only have 5 minutes, and I want to be able to get your contact information and promote our open houses, but things to consider as well: hidden costs, so moving, renovations, furnishing. So if you're going from that smaller home to the larger home, it'll be half empty. Resale value of different homes, so different style homes, different size homes. So you want to consider the resale value after you purchase, if that's not your forever home and you're not going to stay there for 100 years. And discussing with a real estate professional to assess market options. So again, maybe right now isn't the right time for you. Again, we're talking about right sizing. So if it's not the right time financially, then we'll reevaluate in a year.
And I also think it's super important, if it's something, even if it's 2 years out, that's kind of perfect, because you come up with a time frame. And I've done this before with people where we have a calendar. By this day, you're going to do this. I'm going to check in with you, make sure that you're on point and you're doing what you need to do, but it's not going to happen overnight.
I also think it's important to not start looking when it's necessary. So like if you're already busting at the seams, don't start looking then. You should have started looking maybe 6 months before, because it could take you 6 months
Yeah.
to a year to find a
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So if you're already like, oh my gosh, where there's no space, and you don't want to add that stress to it.
Do you have an alternate place that you could stay? Because obviously the best situation would be to sell your house and then have the freedom to be able to put that money in the bank, and you're a much more valuable buyer when you are not, have no restrictions and a home sale contingency and things like that. So there's a lot to consider.
Lots to consider. But if people want to have a discussion with you about right sizing, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can come into the office, and I'm here usually every day.
That would be me.
Just kidding. It's summer. They can call me at 617-448-4896, and we can make an appointment to come into the office. And Kay Howlett at bostonconnect.com.
You have a website?
We have a fabulous new website, kristenhowlett.bostonconnect.com.
Yes. And give your phone number one more time.
617-448-4896. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, so
be sure to look for her.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch that, you can go to bostonconnect.com and find all of her contact information there, and you can get a link directly to her own website, kristenhowlett.bostonconnect.com.
I know we need to find out how to get these radio shows on there.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But we do have quite a few open houses this weekend. So I said earlier, Team Flynn has 199 Brook Bend Road in Hanson. They are going to be there from 11 to 1. That is on the market for $799,800. Matt Mahoney has an open house today, 575 First Parish Road in Scituate. He's going to be there from 10 to 12. That is on the market for $950,000. Sam Horton and Connor Sullivan have an open house. This is a multifamily. It's 48 Rockcliffe Street in Fall River. They will be there from 11 to 1. It is on for $649,900. They're also going to be there tomorrow from 10 to 12. Cushing Trails in Hanson from 10 to 12, and Cochise Estates in West Bridgewater 10 to 2. I know you're going to be over at Cochise Estates, so that is the McNamara Horton Group's listings. Those are new construction developments. Kristen mentioned earlier that she does a lot of open houses over there at Cochise, so stop by today and visit her.
And then the sun will be out at 2, so it's perfect timing.
The sun will be out at 2. No Cushing Trails tomorrow, but they're going to be doing an open house at Cochise Estates a little bit differently. Tomorrow's from 10 to 12, and Ginny Wandell has a new listing, 32 Rockway Ave, Unit 3C in Weymouth. She's going to be there tomorrow, 11 to 1. That's on for $524,000. And Team Flynn is at 2 Fontana Way in Bridgewater tomorrow, 11 to 12, $949,999. So thank you so much, Kristen. And I love that we did a different topic today. I love it. Thank you everybody for listening. I'll be back next weekend, I think with Sue Bollinger, but I'll double check with that. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?